So hiking at night, nothing will stop me getting to Shap today. Okay, so I've made it to Shap, can you believe it? It's 12:30 AM. Mark saved this pod for me. That's where I slept last night, perfectly dry. So the last bit of the lake's now behind me. You can see as the weather's setting in, and I'm heading over the M6, just over that bridge, and that's when you know you've definitely left the lakes. So I'm now in the Yorkshire Dales. This is Stone Castle, pretty amazing up here. The coast to coast is an obstacle course, it isn't a walk, okay? Well, I'm going into autumn now. It hasn't stopped raining once, so it's been quite challenging up there on the Dales. At 8 miles I'm coming into this town, it's a detour off the trail, probably 1 mile off the trail, so I'm just going to see what I can get to eat, or yeah, maybe even just take an easier day today after yesterday's exertion to past midnight. So it's been raining non-stop. I've camped in a beer garden, so I thought I'll just have a short day today just to rest up. I think I've done about 8 miles. I've got 12 miles to go to Kirby Stephen. But I think just because of the conditions, non-stop rain, it's no fun really, is it? And it's going to be a bit clearer tomorrow, so short day today and then continue tomorrow. It's a lovely village of Orton, well worth a stay if you don't fancy doing the full 20 miles to Kirby Stephen. Finally some camping food. I never get time to eat it. Well, good morning, day 3, and I'm still going. So got up nice and early, and I've made a start at 7 AM. Got everything packed away, wet tent and everything, and I'm on the trail. Can walk 12 miles today. So my plan is to try and walk while it's the best weather like this, and hopefully avoid most of the rain, but who knows. Beautiful countryside. What not to like when you're out on a trail on a Monday morning. Different to a normal Monday morning. Got a whole week ahead of me. Looks a bit brighter where I'm going, towards Sun Begin. Sun Begin, that's a good name. It looks like it's Sun Begin too. Walking straight into the sun. How you do it, not a soul, because I set off so early. So I think I'm head of the pack. I'm just coming over the brow to reveal the new vistas, crossing England from one side of the sea to the other. But it does make you appreciate your country, that's for sure. Seeing these places down the Yorkshire Dales, of course. Home with the sheep, getting the miles done early. I thought I'd just book ahead on my phone. I've got a signal on the Yorkshire Dales here, sitting in the middle of nowhere, and I've just booked my room already in Kirby Stephen. Yeah, I'll be ready for a night in a nice hotel, the Black Ball Hotel. So it looks fine. Bookings.com. Gonna have a proper shower, charge everything, dry everything. Proper food. I think that's fair enough, don't you, after I've had 2 nights out. whilst I like camping, you know, 2 or 3 nights is probably my limit for time being before I need a bath. Well, firstly you need to charge everything up if you're filming stuff, and you can't seem to do that anywhere. So the only way to do that is really by getting a room. Last night camping in that pub garden, it didn't cost a penny. She wouldn't take anything. It was supposed to be £5, but she just said, well, it's cold and wet out there, basically good luck to you. So it was a free night of camping anyway, but had great facilities, rolling countryside for miles and miles. Hopefully they'll go off to the side now. So the way seems pretty clear now, all the way along following this wall, as far as the eye can see, and then over that ridge. I don't know about drying room, but this is the best drying room here, just nice and sunny, lovely wind, not too much. But now it's perfectly dry, I can pack that away. I don't have to worry about it now. I haven't got to get it out in the hotel. Look at that, beautiful bridge, river. And there's the viaduct, and there's where I've come down from, that wall. And you see the wall on the other side? Coming down there and through this ravine. And now up this fell. Look at that, it's fantastic views. Last fell, hopefully of the day. Not quite. Oh, in the valley, beyond those trees. Reminds me of the South Downs a little bit, the views you get up here. These long grassy sort of climbs, steady climbs. It's got to be just around this corner, but you can't see anything. It must be completely hidden in the valley. Finally hit civilization, Kirby Stephen. Let's find the Black Bull Hotel. This is it. This is what hiking is all about, isn't it? Ending up in a hotel. And it's just in time for the rain. So I made it to Kirby Stephen. That's great. I'm gonna have a shower. It's about time, I think, and you. Day 4, it's Tuesday, so leaving Kirby Stephen. It's a lovely little town actually, Kirby Stephen, well worth a stop, and people are lovely and friendly. So it's a lovely night there resting in the hotel in the Black Bull Inn. I checked a bit of YouTube and I thought it was, but I saw that's where Hayes Outdoors stayed. I think it was his videos of the coast to coast that I saw a couple of years ago when he walked the coast to coast in honour of his grandfather. He was struggling too at this point, and I think he went to the pharmacy and he bandaged his knee and his ankle, and I've just put a knee support on my right knee. It's not really bad, but it's starting to just ache. It's a bit of an old injury actually. But it was something which I knocked when I fell into the waterfall 6 weeks ago, and then I also bumped it again a few weeks ago. Going up and down these hills has sort of aggravated it, but with the knee support on so far, feels much better.
He's going to do a little shot here.
Look at that. It's all in bloom, isn't it? We don't know what they're called, do we?
Of course.
I think you just have to keep exploring really, and keep having, like you coming over here on doing the coast to coast. I mean, it takes a bit of guts, doesn't it, to set off?
Well, for us it was a little bit daunting because we haven't done any long hikes. But we used to run marathons when we were younger, so we've pushed ourselves all our lives.
Yeah, well that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we've done
You struggle.
trips, 2,000 miles.
Wow.
You know.
2,000 miles?
Oh yeah.
What?
We've been on trips for 3 weeks at a time.
Oh, I see. Wow. So huge distances as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you've got stamina, haven't you?
Well, yeah.
And
we haven't done for a little bit. Our last trips we've gone were about 700-800 miles.
oh wow. And how old are you again? You're 60,
5.
65. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's inspirational. You know, it really is. It's good walking with a bit of company. This group from Canada, they're inspirational, and they might be older, but they're super fit. Well, they're slack packing as well. They haven't got the weight I've got.
Yeah.
As far as the eye can see,
I know.
absolutely breathtaking view. I mean, it literally is breathtaking. It is a view that you don't see very often. It's 180 degrees, well, all the way around.
All the way.
And that's where we come from, that direction, I think. Can you see just Kirby Stephen down there? Just about. So all the way over there somewhere is the sea. And then, and over there to the north, up to Scotland. I suppose, is it better going over the bridge? Go over the bridge. This is what I mean, the coast to coast is an obstacle course. Because you never quite know what you're going to get on the day you go.
You never know.
They're called the 9 standards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. This is it. Group like this, I'm glad you don't mind me joining. Because it wouldn't be much fun on your own through here, would it? What an adventure!
You got it. We're in England, we have to play British music.
Yeah. Lunch in that shack, and yeah, it was amazing. We had music, we had fun, we chat about rock and roll stars we talked about. And as soon as we went in there, it started to pour down. It's been raining for about an hour, and then as soon as we came out, it stopped raining. You're not getting your feet dry until you get to your hotel.
No. The water's not as deep high up.
That's it, that's Keld, right by the Methodist chapel. Look at this.
Yeah, Methodist chapel.
So good. Wow.
See, I'm English, you see, so I have to have my cream tea at 4 o'clock.
You know, I make scones at home.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
I make all kinds of scones.
I'm solo again. And my Canadian friends have gone to their hotel. I've been picked up from Keld, so now I'm leaving Keld on the Swale trail, still the coast to coast, walking along the river, and I just thought, well, I've done 12 miles, maybe 13 miles. Well, what would be nicer than continuing the adventure into the night and looking for a wild camp somewhere. It's only like 5 o'clock, probably 5:30, so plenty of time, another 4 hours hiking, do some more miles, why not? The river below me in the valley, and I'm walking through the Swale valley. I'm going to take the low road and see if I can find somewhere to camp by the river, tucked out the way. And there's also some, plan B would be, there's also some like pubs and things on the way in a few miles. So if I can't find anywhere, then I can always try and pitch up in the garden again in the pub. I think this is around about the halfway point at Keld, somewhere here. Halfway point, so half of the coast to coast is done. Well, this is turning into a perfect stroll in a sunny evening. Just lovely, it's just it's easy, it's soft ground. This is the lower route of the coast to coast. The main route of the coast to coast is on that ridge. Well, sun is going down, does it sound familiar? Nowhere really to wild camp along here. Main reason, there's some lovely spots, but some of them are overlooked, but the main reason is, if you can see, it's a beautiful wild meadow, and it's protected obviously, so that only the footpath is where you can walk through, and they must have left it for the wildlife. So there's no way I'm going to stick my tent on these wildflowers and wild camp and destroy this natural habitat. So the plan is keep on walking, probably till it's dark, and then there is a pub, I think, in about 4 miles, where I think you can probably put a tent in the garden again. I know it's not wild camping, but right now the name of the game for me is to try and get these miles done, to put me in with at least a chance of finishing the coast to coast this week, which is a real tall order for me, but I don't know, I feel better about it now. If I get to where I want to get to now, another 4 miles tonight, that means I've done quite a big day today. It would have been, I know, it must be at least 20 miles. So if it's a 20 miler, if I can pull a 20-mile day and no real issues, and I'm getting fitter every day, then I may be in with a chance, you never know. Don't know if you can see the light. That is the light at the end of the tunnel. That is the pub. Just before it's totally dark. So I made it. It's about 10:15. I'm in a good place now. I'm only like 3 miles from Reeth, which is really tomorrow's walk. So I'm really happy. Just hope now I can put my tent up in the beer garden. So there's no beer garden, but it does say vacancies. So I might be in luck. Let's see. So, found myself landing on my feet again. Well, I don't know what you're going to think, you wild campers. I did try to do a wild camp. I really did. I set off to do a wild camp, but honestly, it wasn't really happening. So, got this room on the spec. Nice shower. Yep, it's all good, isn't it? Very nice room. I'm going to get settled in and the routine begins again. It's like a factory, a hiking factory. So I'm going to get myself sorted out.